What did we talk about? Find out next. Hey families, Justin here with River Kids Children's Ministry, here again with another episode of What We Talk About. And so we're just going to dive right in. And this week we were talking about, with our preschool down to twos, we were talking about anyone can follow Jesus. Okay, so when that question comes up, well, who can follow Jesus? Who does Jesus want to follow him? Everyone and anyone. And why? And what does that look like? And what do we mean by anyone? We mean anyone. And so what we looked at specifically was Matthew chapter 9, 9 through 10. And here's the context on this, okay? What it talks about is Jesus calling Matthew, who is one of the main 12 disciples that Jesus has in his ministry. Here's the thing about Matthew. Matthew was a tax collector. Okay, so what you have to understand, and you don't have to go into crazy detail with your kids on this necessarily, but what it helps to understand is that tax collectors in that day and age were lower than scum. Okay, they were looked at as such terrible, terrible people. And there's a lot of reasons why that you can look into if you would like to, but they were looked at as not great people. So the fact that Jesus had chosen a tax collector was a really, really big deal. And so use that to shape your conversations this week, that anyone can follow Jesus. And Jesus wants everyone, no matter what your background is, to follow him because he loves you and he desires for us to love him. So I hope that helps shape the conversations that you're going to have as Jesus called Matthew and he's calling us too. And that's a great conversation that we can have with our littles at any point. So we're praying for the conversations and the discussions that you will have with your littles this week. With our elementary age kids, remember, we are talking about peace overall, right? Peace overall for this month. And our bottom line this week that we were talking through, born out of the Bible story that I'm going to get to in just a second, was that we are proving we care more about others by being a part of the solution, okay? That can be difficult sometimes, right? Now, sometimes we're not always going to have the solution, okay? But if we can help in a group with a couple people, whatever it might be a part of the solution or helping get to what the eventual solution is, that is also a big hit. Because we have a saying, in my house at least all the time, where we say that if you are just coming with a problem and all you're doing is you're just talking about it and you're not providing any solutions, then really you're just kind of whining and complaining. Okay, so if we can bring solutions ourselves, great. If not, if we can just be willing to jump in and figure out what a solution might be, that can prove that we care more about others than, as we've said, getting into a fight or getting into an argument or something like that, where a very not great temperament comes from that, or not a great heart set is born out of that or is a part of that. And here we're looking at it in specifically from 1 Samuel chapter 25 verses 1 through 35. Okay, so a little bit bigger section here. So I suggest and recommend that you kind of familiarize yourself with this a little bit and just look at it. But what it is in a nutshell is we're looking at a gentleman named Nabal or Nabal, depending on who you talk to on the pronunciation there. Not a good dude. Just not a great guy. And so this is David. Okay, now he's not king yet. Saul is still king, but he's got a good following. He's got a lot of people that are looking to him and trust him and all these kinds of things. And so he is looking to get some things from some help from Nabal, and decides, hey, how can I make peace in this way? And Nabal's just not interested. He's just not interested. And so he keeps insulting David. And so it takes Nabal's wife Abigail to continually keep coming to David a couple different times, 3 different times or so, and saying, hey, sorry the way that he treated you, that's really not what we think, like please accept these gifts or please accept these things. And she kind of has to make peace through this, but she becomes a part of the solution. So 1 Samuel chapter 25 verses 1 through 35. Again, we just hope it creates some great discussions with you and your kids about peace and having a peaceful household, and how instead of just jumping into a fight, we can figure out how we can walk away from a fight, how we can let go of what's fair, and specifically this week, how we can work to be a part of the solution, okay? And even describing what solution is to our kids, and even describing, maybe they haven't really heard much of that in that context before, so this is a great opportunity to have that discussion. As always, we are praying for you. We are just lifting each of you up in your families and in your homes for these discussions and these awesome conversations that you're going to have with your kids. We are asking for the Holy Spirit to just guide these conversations and to be in your homes so that we can really see these young disciples taking shape and taking form over the next however long it is. We're still working at it, right? So it's a long process, but if we can get them in the beginning, it just is just an amazing thing. And so we are lifting you up in that. And as always, please let us know, whether in the comments here, finding us on a Sunday, whatever it might be. Let us know how else we can help and how we can be involved in supporting you, encouraging you, equipping you, and any of those kinds of things. We love you guys, and we will see you next time. Hey everyone, thanks so much for checking this video out. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please do that. You can do that right here. And if you haven't had a chance to check out some of the other videos, we've been doing this for a little bit, so we've got several videos. So you can check those out over here, and that'll lead you to some of the other videos that we have. So please do that. Again, we're just here to encourage you and equip you and give you some fun ways that you can be engaging your kids throughout the week in discipleship and in the love of Jesus, which is the most important thing, right? So thanks again, and we will see you later.